Good morning, students. I hope everyone had a great weekend, and I hope you enjoyed learning about brass instruments last week. This week we are learning about stringed instruments. And I know a lot of you know about some of these instruments because we have them at school, like this guitar. So anyway, all of the trumpets you guys made were really incredible, and we're going to make a guitar tomorrow. Not a real guitar, but like the trumpets, a fun guitar that we can actually use to jam with. And one of you guys has a guitar. So anyway, here we go. Strings by Daniel Nunn, or Noon. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Stringed instruments. People play many instruments to make music. A stringed instrument has strings stretched across it. People make sounds by touching the strings. So here's a guitar like the one we have at school, and some of you guys have already started learning the C and G chord on the fret, and these are the strings that we strum. There are many types of stringed instruments. This is a harp, by the way. Plucking. People use their fingers to play some stringed instruments. This is called plucking. People use their fingers to play a ukulele. Now the ukulele, we'll talk about another day, but we use these a lot at school too. 4 strings. People use their fingers to play a balalaika. These instruments are from Russia, and I had never seen one before this book. There's only 3 strings on this instrument. This is an accordion, not a stringed instrument, but this is a balalaika. People use their fingers to play a kora. Now the kora is from West Africa. This is a gourd, and usually there are many strings, even as much as 21. Using a bow. People use a bow to play other stringed instruments. This looks like a bass violin. I know a lot of you know what violins are, but there's different sizes of them. This looks like a bass to me. And here is the bow, usually made from horsehair or some type of synthetic material, and you go back and forth and play it over the strings. People use a bow to play a sarinda. Now these instruments are from India. People use a bow to play a cello. Cello is one of my favorite instruments in the violin family. I just love how they sound. They have a deep sound, and might as well show you this before I read it. These are violins, and I think one of you did tell me you had a sister who played violin. People use a bow to play a violin. Playing stringed instruments. Some people play stringed instruments together. Here's a Mexican mariachi band. And over here is a woman playing a sitar. That's another instrument that they play in India, often with tabla drums. We'll get that to tabla drums in our percussion section. Some people play stringed instruments on their own. Some people play stringed instruments for work. So this looks like an orchestra, or part of one. You're seeing the stringed section of an orchestra. And I know we play a game called orchestra at school, where we're all on different instruments and come in at different times, and there's a conductor, remember? Some people play stringed instruments just for fun. These are like our smaller guitars at school. making stringed instruments. Some stringed instruments are hard to make. Some stringed instruments are easy to make. This is not the type of guitar we'll be making tomorrow. Play your own stringed instrument. You can play your own string instruments too. And then in the glossary section, it just talks about two different things. The, let's see, the bow, a stick with horsehair stretched across it, which is used to play some stringed instruments, we know, like the violin. Plucking, pulling, and letting go of strings on a musical instrument to make different sounds. All right, so tomorrow we are going to, if you have time to collect some things today, if you have a Kleenex box, a tissue box, but we'll go over it tomorrow, so don't worry too much. Some rubber bands, bit larger rubber bands, a paper towel roll, and some tape. All right, and if you want a piece of paper to decorate it. So here's our book on strings. And before I go, I want to play a sound bite for one of these unusual instruments that you might not know how it sounds, the kora, which again is from West Africa. So I'm going to leave you with, from my phone, a sound bite. I thought that sounded really nice. Okay, I hope you have a really wonderful Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. Be ready to make some guitars.